Good evening, everyone. We welcome you to today's broadcast. And sorry, we are starting a bit late. We had some technical problems with our internet. Today promises to be very exciting, to be very educating, and to be very enlightening at the same time. Today's topic has been posted on social media, on Facebook, on our company page, Facebook page. It carries many titles, such as one of the titles I called today's broadcast was how to prevent your business or career from being extinct, from expiring. You know, how big data could save your business, could save your career, and could save your organization. My name is Niyi Moluga. I'm a business analyst consultant with over 8 years experience in data analytics, in the IT industry, data analytics, business intelligence, and big data. And today we are going to be talking about how big data could save your business, how data science could impact your business, impact your career, and bring about a meaningful outcome from your organization. Our website is on the screen. You can see our website, www.sgdatanet.ng, and our social media handles are also listed on the screen. The slide you are seeing, it shows get a training that will transform your career and business. These are some of the trainings we offer. You can go to our website and see more details about our training, about what we do, and how you can contact us. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the broadcast. Wow. Yeah. So, big data, data science, and high. There's no doubt about it that we are experiencing a flood of data. Data comes from different sources that never used to come 10 years ago, 15 years ago. We have data from devices, data from social media, data from Internet of Things, artificial intelligence. We are gathering a lot of data. And one thing we should know is this. This data that we have presently, that is being generated from all these sources that are mentioned, have increased over time. We have zettabytes and petabytes of data generated every day. These data are like 10 times of what was generated 15 years ago. 20 times of what was generated 30 years ago, because of the volume of data. And one thing we should expect as an organization, or as a business person, or as someone working in an industry is either you are thinking, it's either you are thinking you are lost, or you are confused in the flood of data that is being generated. That means you are not making the best use of this data. That is one area, one category you can be in. With all these volumes of data that is being generated, what is your organization doing about it? What is your business doing about it? As a person in the IT industry, what advantage are you leveraging with this data? What advantage are you getting with this vast amount of data? You can either be sinking by not knowing what to do, by being lost or being confused, or you can swim with this flood of data. You know what you want, and you flow with the data. that means you are making the best use of it. That means you are harnessing the potential that are embedded in this data. That means you are able to transform this data into meaningful information. That is why I decided to put this slide. It's either you are sinking or you are making the best use of this data. All right. So, and by the time we finish this course, we would see that we will see how to flow in the stream of things when it comes to data, how we can make the best use of it. All right. I know I'm to talk on big data and how it can impact your business, but we cannot remove data science from the picture. All right. So the first thing we need to know is, what is data science? And well, it has no specific definition, but one thing I can pick from this slide and let's use it to explain is that it's an interdisciplinary skill consisting of different knowledge areas. And what is the goal? The goal is to transform data into knowledge that can be used to make rational decisions. Knowledge. So data science is the midpoint, as we can see in the slide here. It consists of domain knowledge. What is domain knowledge? Domain knowledge could be an area of expertise that you have presently. You have domain knowledge, whether in programming, you have domain knowledge, whether in marketing, you have domain knowledge, whether in finance, you have domain knowledge, whether in engineering, any domain you are. That is what I represent by domain knowledge. And it's a combination of computer science, your domain knowledge, and mathematics and statistics. The midpoint of it is data science. All right. So we can see from here that it has no single definition, all right, from the above slide. So who is a data scientist? Who can we call a data scientist? Is this someone that performs data science? But the answer is no. It's somebody that is more than a scientist. It's more than an analyst. It's more than a developer. But, somebody that has all these skills and those domain areas and those that has the skill of maths and statistics and has the skill of computer science. Individuals like that are very difficult to get. Individuals like that are very difficult. It's difficult for an individual, to have a broad knowledge of all those areas I have mentioned, because it's very wide. It's either you have a niche, it's either you are specific, it's either you have an area, in the scheme of things that you are, a professional on. All right. That doesn't mean you cannot perform some roles. I said last week that you need. It's not that big data. It's a group project. One person cannot tell you is performing a big data project alone, because you need the skills of different kinds of people, different domain expertise, to work on a big data project. And because people with such skills are scarce, you can see from the slide above what some of his top paying tech skills are. This is quite outdated, but it's about 2007 survey. The different skill sets you need to have and what it translates to, in your annual salary. If you have any of these skills, you can see the demand is really high. You can see, for instance, MapReduce, over $125,000, being paid annually. They are in high demand, and because they are limited, those people that have such kind of technical skills, that is why they are in high demand, and that is why the salaries are mouth-watering. All right. So data science, what skills does it entail? For you to say you want to be a data scientist, what skill sets, what domain areas of skill sets do you need to have? You need to have some set of programming skills. There's no doubt about that. Either you have programming skills in languages like Python, you have programming skills in languages like R, and you are able to work on data. That means you are able to get data, you're able to clean up data, you are able to transform data. You have a descriptive knowledge of statistics, of numerical statistics. You are able to create and visualize data in the form of different kinds of objects like dashboards, like charts, like gauges. You have statistical modeling. That means you can create hypotheses. That means you can predict, models, statistical modeling, hypotheses, and you have handling of big data, vast amounts of data that's being generated. You have skills of machine learning. What is machine learning? Machine learning is whereby computer programs are meant to solve a particular task, and you are able to deploy the final products, your final results as production. And some of the tools I have listed here is not exhaustive, but these are some of the tools, from a survey in 2005, in the data science survey. Looking at the tools here, the horizontal shows the percentage of respondents, and the x-axis shows the tools. The first one carrying the highest is SQL, the sequential query language. Every data scientist cannot do without it, because come to think of it, you are working on data. Come to think of it, you need to be able to query data. That skill is in high demand. Then another one is Excel. A lot of people shy away from Excel, but Excel is still a very important factor in the scheme of things. You cannot do without Excel. It's one of the best products I've said that Microsoft has produced in the time. And you can see the skill sets goes on. We have R, we have MySQL, we have some data from programming. From on this exercise, we have programming skills, we have data skills, and we have some visualization skills. Some of the visualization skills are like Power Pivots. Some of the Power Pivots, Tableau, and some of the data skills are the Hadoop, and the database skills are some SQL and MongoDB. It goes on and on like that. So it tells you that the skills are in high demand, and if you find yourself in any of these category, having these skills, you can call yourself a data scientist. So what are the process involved in data science? What are the process? There is a structure, there is a model that is involved. And the first one is find a question. You are trying to create an hypothesis of what you want to test. You want to make a decision. You want to be able to predict. When it comes to finding a question, the first one, which I mentioned here, you need to be able to, you have an hypothesis you want to test. You want to test something. You have a decision you want to make. You have something you want to predict. That's the first stage. There must be a prompting that, of something you want to achieve. That is the first stage. The second stage is the stage of collecting data. You have to gather data. How do you gather this data? Through experiments. And if the data already exists in your industry, in your domain area, then there's no need to create the stage of collecting data anymore. You need to just move to the next stage where you are to prepare the data. When you want to prepare the data, you are in a stage where you want to clean and make it ready for analysis. You have to transform the data. You have to make the data available. You have to clean it, execute, transform. And the next one is to create a model. What do we mean by creating a model? A model is like you have to create a visual model, a numeric model, a statistical model, a machine learning model. This model are evidence for your hypothesis or against your hypothesis. This model allow you to make decisions or predict an outcome. The next stage is to evaluate the model. In evaluating the model, you need to ensure that your model helps you to answer the question of your prediction. The model is supposed to help you answer the question of a prediction that you are trying to achieve. That is the stage of evaluating the model. Then the last one is to deploy the model. Deploying the model is to communicate your model, your result to others. And that could be you developing an application or making a decision and acting on that decision. You've gone through all these stages, and the end result is to communicate your result to others. How can you communicate your result to others? You communicate your result to others either by creating visualization or creating an application or creating a process whereby the people can make decision and act on that decision. There is a standard in a data science process. The standard which we follow is the cross-industry standard process for data mining. This process I just explained can be defined as the cross-industry standard process for data mining. All right. And this process doesn't mean you have to follow it. It's not an iterative process. It could be an iterative process if it could be an iterative process, and it could be non-sequential. It could be non-sequential in the sense that you might need to jump some stages. It could be early termination in the sense that you might need to terminate the process. You don't need to move through all the 6 stages. You might need to get to some stage and terminate it because you've achieved the result you want to achieve. And you might need to establish other processes. Okay, so why is data science so important? There are some jobs that used to exist 10 years ago that don't exist anymore. And if you look at the trend, in the 90s, I have a picture here that I wanted to show. The top 10 companies that reigned in the 90s were the oil industry, and I have this slide here. If you look at my slide here, you can see the top 10 industries that were reigning, where the General Motors, Ford Motors, ExxonMobil, that was in the 90s, of ExxonMobil, IBM, General Electric, that was in the 90s, But when you look at what has happened over years, you will notice that all those companies I mentioned are not in the top 10 companies as of 2018. As of 2018, the top 10 companies are Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Microsoft, Facebook, Alibaba, and all the rest. The companies I mentioned earlier, those oil companies are not in the top 10 companies anymore. What has happened? What has happened is a revolution. What has happened is a transformation. What has happened is that we are in the era of data, and any company that is able to harness the advantage in data will be able to provide more value, will be able to provide more solution to people. And that is why what has happened over time is that companies that have nothing to do with data. Companies that find it that don't that their business is not around any form of data, we discover that they are moving away from the scheme of things. You say that your company is going down, things are not, because you are not leveraging on data. It's either you are losing customer, or you are not really, you might be generating some data in your company, but you are not harnessing the advantage that this data provide. And Facebook, for instance, who knew Facebook 20 years ago? Facebook was not a company that was existing. There was no future. There was nothing like Facebook 20 years ago. But now we can see value. Who knew, how many people knew Google 20 years ago? You know, things have really changed over time, and it's because people are beginning to leverage on data. People are beginning to see the advantage in data. People are beginning to see the potential the data provide, you know. You know, that is why we need to take it very important. All right, to answer the question, you know, on the advantage of data science, we need to know the trends that are making data science so important. So we need to focus on the trend. What are the trends that are making big data or data science so important? One of them is data analytics. Data analytics is the ability to transform data to make meaningful decisions. Another one is Internet of Things. Most of our devices nowadays are connected to the internet. Our devices are connected to internet. They are able to capture data. They are able to transform data and relate information to us in a big way. Another thing is big data. Big data, as I said earlier, is vast amount of data being generated on a daily basis. Vast amount of data being generated on a daily basis. And machine learning is a situation whereby computer programs are able to discover sequences in a pool of data and be able to do what human beings are supposed to do in a better way, because we know machines don't make mistakes. They are able to discover and see, you know, sequences, patterns in data, and be able to give meaningful advice. So these are the trends that are driving data science. These are the trends that are making data science very relevant in our situation. So there are two things. There are two importance of data science. Data science is driven by two things, by economics and possibly by technology. Come to think of it, data science is driven by economics in the sense that every organization wants growth. Every organization is getting to be innovative. Every organization is trying to make better decisions, competing in the market. They want to be able to compete. They want their service to sell. They want their product to sell. And in the process of doing that, they engage in tools, in technology that will make it useful, in technology that will make their dreams, their goal, their vision come to pass. And they go about using technology. That is where data science is very important. And that is why I said earlier that there is no way that you can do without data science in your organization. All right. I hope you've been able to get a few understanding. Although this seminar is a bit short, but I hope you've been able to get one or two things, you know, on the importance of big data, on the importance of data science, on why your business and career, no matter how small, no matter the level your business is, you need to leverage on big data. You need to seek an expert if you don't have a personnel in your company, because things are changing drastically fast. things are changing and you need to move with the trend, or else you'll be like those that are sinking in the pool of data. This data are readily available. A lot of sources are generating the data. Your organization is generating data on a daily basis. You need to be able to analyze this data. You need to be able to transform this data. You need to be able to structure this data. You need to be able to use this data to be able to discern on, oh, this is what we want to achieve. This is our goal. Create an hypothesis, a decision that you want to make, and be able to use your data to be able to help you in achieving what you want to do. A lot of the tools are not too expensive. A lot of the tools are available. A lot of the tools are also free to use. The most important thing is having a will to transform your organization from where it is to where you want it to be. And as a career person, if you are in the IT industry, you need to have an understanding of what is happening in the times. You need to move with the trend. You need to have the desire to acquire some skills that would move your organization, move your career to the next level. And that is why you need to go for trainings, go for seminar, listen to program, read books. We in data science, Southgate DataNet, our company, part of the things we do is training. You can go to our website www.sgdatanet.ng. Subscribe to one of our trainings and I'm sure you will never regret it. Thank you once again for your time. Until we come your way next week, have a wonderful week and keep learning and keep growing. Bye for now.